twins born at 4 months. When Dad put them down, he was shocked. We firmly believe that people should have the physical and emotional maturity and financial readiness before they decide to have children. The world's seen enough atrocities committed to children already. Even if you don't agree with that, you probably will when you read the story of these incredible twins. In the regular cases, twins are usually born within a few minutes of each other. However, if everything goes smoothly, these two miracle babies in Washington will be celebrating their birthdays 4 months apart. This unusual story of odd twin birth all started last month. Holly Gorvert went into labor unexpectedly at only 23 weeks of pregnancy. Because of the severe complications she was having, the young mother was obliged to deliver one of the babies before it was due. The second baby had more limited options as he was much smaller than his brother, due to a potentially fatal rare condition called twin-to-trend transfusion syndrome. The condition is a syndrome where the blood passes unequally between twins who share a placenta. Because of this situation, the doctors decided to perform a very rare and risky procedure called delayed interval delivery. The doctors decided to leave the second baby, Logan, in the uterus until he was closer to his due date. The twins' estimated 4-month gap between births is one of the longest intervals on record, according to Dr. Martin Walker. Even though the odds were stacked against them, the boys are hanging in there. Only 10% of preemies survived the procedure. Link had a 10% chance of normal development at delivery, but every day that twin brother Logan spent in utero would mean a better chance at normal development for the younger brother. Logan will be bigger than Link. Growth in utero is so much better than growth in the ICU, Dr. Walker said. Earlier this month, Holly Gorvert said that her son Logan was born on Saturday after medical officials worried she had developed signs of infection that would compromise her delivery. Logan arrived at 1:53 a.m. He weighed 740 grams, shared his mother in a Facebook post. When he was born, he had the cutest tiny cry. Link also seems to be developing well. According to Walker, he's got a long way to go, but the fact that he's this far out with no bleeding in his brain only suggests that he's going to be one of the 10% with normal development, Walker told ABC News. The doctor said that Logan had already passed the 25-week mark, which means that he already has more than a 50% chance of normal development, just like any regular baby. Both infants remain at the Evergreen Medical Center as they need to be constantly under continued care, according to the family's fundraising site. Their dad, Nick Gorvert, wrote, "Link is fighting for his life, waiting for the day he gets to meet his brother. We're keeping the family, especially those remarkable twins, in our thoughts and hoping for the happy outcome they deserve." During the 3rd trimester, the baby is finishing off developing and the focus turns to gaining weight, which happens at about 31 weeks of pregnancy as babies begin to gain weight very quickly. Babies can double their weight in only about 10 weeks. The baby weighs only about 3 pounds at week 30 of pregnancy. Most full-term babies born at about 40 weeks of pregnancy weigh an average of 7.5 pounds. This explains why the earlier a premature baby is born, the smaller and lighter they might be. In the United States, according to trusted sources, about 8% of babies have low birth weight. A low birth weight means that they are born weighing less than 5 pounds 8 ounces. About 1.4% of all babies in the United States are born at a very low birth weight, weighing less than 3 pounds at birth. Because their lungs, heart, and brain are not sufficiently developed at the time, babies born before 18 weeks have almost no chance of surviving. However, there was an event where very premature babies survived their early birth. Lilia, a young woman from Kazakhstan, went into labor early at only 25 weeks. The tiny and very fragile baby Leia was safely delivered. However, her twin brother was happy to stay put and wasn't delivered with her. This kind of birth can sometimes happen when a mother's contractions stop after the first twin has been delivered. The second baby stays in and gets to grow closer to full term. Baby Maxim, Leia's unborn twin brother, was indeed happy to continue his growth for another 11 weeks. "In fact, my son was in no rush to come out into the world," Lilia said in an interview with a news channel. These different birthdays were made even more likely because Lilia had a condition known as uterus adelpheus. Her condition simply meant that she actually had a double uterus, which meant that each baby was able to develop in its own womb. However, in such cases, premature labor is quite common, hence twin one's early appearance. Some women who have uterus adelpheus may also have two cervixes or even two vaginas. But it isn't always the case. A woman can have just a double uterus, like in Lilia's case. Some other times women with this kind of double uterus have some trouble getting pregnant. The difficulty of conceiving is mainly due to the lining of their uteruses not being fully developed or having wombs in an irregular shape. In Lilia's case, however, there were no such fertility issues. She was already a mother to a 7-year-old daughter. The doctors only found out about her condition after she gave birth to her oldest daughter. "I was shocked when I found out that I had such a condition," Lilia explained. "When twin one arrived early, I was worried about the life of my premature baby, but our doctors were great. What they did was a miracle, a very rare and unusual birth." Scientific American says that the odds of a pregnancy like this where twins are born weeks apart and developed in twin wombs are around 150 million. Thankfully, both her twins are now healthy and happy. According to the latest news, the babies are preparing to leave the hospital and head home to finally be united under the same roof. Improving survival rates for extremely premature babies allows more lives to be saved. Previously, doctors only tried to save babies born at 23 weeks or after, but now even premature babies before that can be rescued. There is a saying that you never trust a 24-weeker, which is pretty much the earliest you will see a baby survive with the current technology available at hand. The health of the mother and child up until that point and several other things. Not trusting the 24-week infant has to do with how hard it may or may not fight to still be part of this world. It is one of the hardest jobs for nursing children who regularly survive and thrive at the 7-month mark. I know that because I was 12 weeks early and I'm typing this now and I'm an adult, so surviving being born 3 months premature has been possible for years. The only way of knowing 100% is by the ultrasound. The doctor's advice, they try to keep a baby in the womb for as long as possible as well. When her vitals were dropping, they induced me and treated it like an emergency. But remember that the baby needs to be in the womb to develop normally, otherwise there might be plenty of issues in each developmental stage, said the mother in an interview. Because of such difficult situations, parents need to know about all of the possible cases they may face and be prepared for all sorts of things that may come due to premature births and difficult pregnancies. If you are not ready to go through all of the trouble of giving a decent life to children and be able to carry though any health issues your babies may be having, from pregnancy to early birth and sickness, you should rethink having children. Bringing a new life to the world is no simple task, and it is a great responsibility that has to be taken very seriously. Even though the current technological advancement provides better chances of saving premature babies and ensuring a normal development for them even if their chances of survival are slim, the process isn't 100% trustworthy, as babies' bodies at such stage cannot be trusted and can give up on life even after they show signs of strength. Every parent should be prepared to face the worst for the sake of their baby's health and survival, and handle the pain of losing a child when things don't go well, as life has its way of setting unpleasant surprises.